So what kind of a guy
Well,
was
I
he to
think
you?
he's a pretty regular guy. You can't disagree with him, and you don't have to be a yes man with him, but he's pretty independent and a good guy. He can be tough, but I found him very good.
When you worked with him those years ago, did you think then that you were working with a guy who was going to have a 50-plus year career in this business? And did you perceive then that here was a long-term piece of talent?
I thought there was no end to him. That's the way I felt at that time, because I saw the way people were feeling it. Crosby was about through and all, and he was just starting. Frank wasn't that hot when he was young. It's in the middle years that he really got to the top.
Caught on,
Can you
yeah.
ask that question again?
Sure.
He's set back.
Sure.
Just
Did you have a sense, though, in those days, I'm talking 1940, 41, when you
Yeah.
first knew him, that he would last a long time?
Well, I thought he would, but nobody could ever anticipate, I don't think, that he was going to last like he is. I think he's getting more popular today than he was 20 years ago.
He was like Elvis Presley then, wasn't he? I mean, the Bobby Soxers used to try to tear his clothes off.
Well, the only thing, I think Presley had a lot of it built in. Sinatra didn't. Some people may tell you that he had a great publicity thing, but with the Bobby Soxer thing, the Paramount Theater, that was a very natural thing.
Kids just spontaneously?
Spontaneous. Everybody. You'd go in the theater, you'd see the priests come running down to hand them the rosaries, whatever they gave him, and after the show, they'd be up in his room, and when he wanted to put the charm on, there's nobody could touch him.
Ava Gardner's wedding to him in your house?
Yes.
That must have been a memorable event. How did it happen?
Well, it happened, like I often said, I was the least known person in Philadelphia.
He wanted a quiet
He
place.
wanted a quiet wedding. He wanted nobody to know anything about it. At that time, he was fighting with the press all the time. So was she.
And he knew you,
Oh, yes, he knew me. I was working for him at the time.
and your house was not, and you weren't that well known.
That's right. That's right. Where we were supposed to get married in the Levy's house, they were better known. And people were looking forward to being there, and
Sneaking
the
around.
press and everybody. And he wanted to avoid the press.
Why did he pick Philadelphia to get married?
I think because of my brother's influence. He would do almost anything Manny would tell him to do. Of course, at the beginning, he was pretty tough to handle, but around Manny, everything was okay.
He made quite a comeback, didn't he, in the 50s?
Yes, he did.
Unheard of, really, in the show business, isn't it?
Well,
To see somebody be great like that and then disappear and then come back.
I think what happened there was his own fault. He was fighting with everybody. He was temperamental. His voice went bad. But his records weren't selling. And then they started.
The comeback.
He did. So I forget the television show that he did, which was also Manny's influence over him, because he wanted to get out of it. Our Town, or I think that was the name of the show, Our Town.
Then he did the movie, of course, the big movie.
That's right.
From Here to Eternity.
That's right. That brought him back.
The movie The Godfather suggests that maybe the mob helped him get that part. You believe any of that stuff?
I don't believe it. I don't say he wasn't friendly with the mob and all, but I don't believe that part. I don't believe most of the stories about him.
You think he's a pretty good guy?
Yes, yes, he's good. With all his problems, he was still a good guy. I think what would prove it, when he went over the USO, Europe, he found himself entertaining the colonels instead of the troops. He came home. And he blasted the press when he came home, because I was there at the meeting. He blasted them.
He's had trouble over the years with reporters, hasn't he?
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't know, just a temperament, I guess. I think when you get famous, you get that temperament anyhow. Most of them do.
He still remembers you, treats you well, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, yes. I went to one of his charity affairs in New York he was doing for the Sloan Kettering Institute, which is primarily for cancer. And he saw me walking through at the dinner. I was walking through with my nephew, and he got up on the table and come rushing over to me and give me a big hug, you know. But he's a good guy that way.
He still calls you when he's in town?
Well, he calls me from California once in a while. When he's in town, he's too busy. You know, when he comes in, he does a show, the car's outside, and he goes right back to New York.
Doesn't stay at Atlantic City?
Maybe in Atlantic City, he might.
But he hasn't done anything here lately, has he, in a long time?
Well, within a year he worked.
Does he where at the
Yeah,
Spectrum?
here.
Uh-huh. And when he's here, sends you tickets or what?
Yeah. Send them usually 6 tickets just to come out.
You get a phone call or a note or what?
His secretaries know where to reach me.
They find you?
Yeah.
He's very loyal, isn't he, to his old friends?
He sure is. He's very loyal. And I can give you an example of that. In the music business, not every song plugger is well off, you know. Some of them are just hanger-on. And there was one particular fella who was looking to get a hold of Frank, and he was working at the Capitol Theater.
Here?
No, the Capitol in New York. Naturally, you can't get a hold of him. And this fellow used to say to me, Les, talk to Frank for me. I want to see him. I need some money badly. So I said, hey, Frank, so-and-so is looking for you. He said, I know, he calls me every day, wants a handout. I said, well, he's really up against it. Find out how much he's up against. So before I get back, this fellow, Frank, called me. He says, listen, Les, find out how much rent he owes. See if he has back rent or something. So next day I came up, I said he owes about $600 in rent. That'd be about 3 months' rent at that time, maybe 4 months. Fellow wasn't living too good. And I'll tell you what you do. Make out a check to the lessor for whatever it is, and then make out a check for $500. We'll give him cash.
So he paid the guy's rent?
Paid the rent, and with the cash, he made me get 2 months or 1 more month rent from the guy to pay that right away. Then he had maybe $200 in his pocket, which was a lot of money in those days. But that was, he hadn't forgotten this guy, and he wanted to do something for him.
So this was kind of somebody he didn't know well. I mean, this wasn't like a close friend.
No, he didn't.
The guy you knew, huh?
He was a song plugger. The fellow was a song plugger with a hanger-on.
In trouble?
In trouble. No, that happens, I think, almost every day with him, if they can get to him. It's hard to get to him.
But he's a soft touch if you reach him, huh?
He's a soft touch if he knows you and reaches him. He remembers all those back things that he knows what's going on.
Loyal.
Very loyal. And
Ever
if he
called you, ever been sick or anything where he's found you and called you or anything like that? Has that ever happened?
No, only once. I had my ulcer operation. He sent me flowers at Graduate Hospital.
But he found out about you, right?
Yeah, he found out.
And he calls from time to time?
Not in the last several years, no. But when he sees me while he's performing, and I'm sitting there, and he spies, gives me a hello or a hug on the way out or in. It's, he's very nice. I guess because I don't go after him.
Did you think when you first knew him that 40-some years later you'd be sitting here talking about the 50th anniversary of his singing?
No, never had such an idea. But I got along with him all the time. I don't know if all people get along with him, but I never pressed him. I never asked for a favor.
Explain, what's your opinion of his longevity? Why is he still around? He's a big star.
I think because he's got talent. I mean, he's still, in my judgment, phrases better than anybody else. And you can pick some of those. He has no gimmicks. He don't take off. He don't throw his perspired handkerchief out to the people or the girls or encourage them to come on that he's dripping wet or something. He's a straight entertainer today.
It's unusual, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Now, the days that Bobby Soxers, that's something else. They just went crazy about him. I never saw anything like that. I never will. You know, when they did the show Friends of Manny, he did that with a lot of the performers. I think up until maybe 5, 6 years ago, it was the highest rated show that CBS ever had.
It was a TV show, yeah?
NBC it was, yeah.
Friends of Manny.
Friends of Manny.
Your brother's gang.
There was Bob Hope. Oh, I don't know, forget him.
George Burns, maybe?
No, George Burns wasn't on, but Eddie Fisher, Sinatra, Tony Martin, a whole bunch of them. Rosemary Clooney, I just can't.
And when they did that, what were you saying?
No, they did that show in memory of Manny.
There's a little bit of Manny in everything that's ever happened to me, and everything that was ever good that's ever happened to me. And there'll never be a word big enough to say thanks.
And I think our foundation, which I still continue, Manny Sachs Foundation, we turned over to the Einstein Hospital $150,000. I think we got around 200, 250, something like that. But none of them would take any money. They were all, and what they would have paid them, that's how much they put in the foundation.
In addition to the free time?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Eddie Fisher and Dinah Shore were.
Tell me more about his singing as a song plugger professionally. What is it about his style that is unique? Are we just used to it? Has he just become part of the landscape?
I guess so. He's just a natural guy. He stands there and sings. You don't go through all the stuff that a lot of them do. He has no gimmicks.
No bumping and grinding?
No, he has good arrangements. And in my time, Axel Stardall did most of his arranging. And he's always had good arrangers and good guys.
Sid Mark.
Sid, well,
he's got a cottage industry going there.
He's got a thing going.
It's great, isn't it?
Yes, he is. And it means a lot.
You listen to that show Friday night?
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Not too often. But Sid Marks has done a great job. I don't think anybody could do what he's done. I'll just get back to you about why Sinatra. When he went over to entertain the troops for the USO, and he just did the entertaining for the colonels, and he rapped the whole United States Army. And when he came back in that meeting, his press agent, George Evans, was in that office, and he damn near died. And then he added, as he rapping everybody, he'd say, now, if you want to double check it, ask the Andrews sisters, ask Bob Hope, ask Red Skelton, Edgar Bergen. They've never said anything, but you ask them if what I said is true or not. And it came out in the paper 2 days later. It was true what Sinatra said about the...
He did sing for the troops. They said he only sang for the brass. Was that it?
He what?
He did sing for the troops, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the press said he only sang for the brass.
No. He said it. He said he'd get up there figuring to entertain a couple hundred or 1,000 troops, and the place would have 54 colonels there, and he'd sing to the 54 colonels. Except when he went out on his own and entertained the troops, it was he that went there. He really rapped the Army. And when
The Army wanted to keep him to himself, huh? The brass.
And when he was drafted in the Army, they thought they'll really put him away pretty good for the way he rapped them. And this is interesting, too, because my brother went with him to the draft, was Hoboken around there or something like that. My brother didn't look like him, but to the crowds, there was a resemblance. And they took my brother in to examine him instead of Sinatra at first. That's a fact. And Sinatra, he really laughed about it because he got off. And when he really got off, he has a bad ear. Mm-hmm. You can see it when it's a certain side, and you can see it.
Oh, he wasn't drafted?
No, it was a mastoid operation.
Oh, he flunked the
but it was a bad job, whoever did the surgery.
He flunked the physical. You think he'll be around for a few more years singing?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Why not? He loves it.
He does it his way, right?
He does it his way. That's one of his big songs, so. But he loves it. You know, he has a knack. I used to watch many of the artists record. Perry Como, Buddy Carson. And some of those sessions would take 2-3 times to go over the song, maybe more. I've seen Sinatra walk in and do the song and walk out of the studio. Doesn't even wait for to hear it playback.
It's perfect.
That's what the kind of guy is.
Yes, it was March.